So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Another Galga TV Podcast. All right. So, we got a guest, our first guest today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Krisia Vaca, and I'm the Antos' wife.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, it's an ongoing joke here.
Yeah.
All right. And today we're going to be talking about the movies of the week. Well, I guess not movies of the week, but just movies that we've seen, right?
Yeah.
And give our 2 cents if anybody actually cares about it. So the first one, I think it's the biggest movie right now. It seems like everybody's talking about it. Is Top Gun Maverick. So has everybody seen it? Raise your hands if you've seen it. All right. So yeah, Daniel, you go on. Start. What do you think?
I thought it was good. I'm a fan of Tom Cruise, just in general. I think he picks very good scripts most of the time. For some reason, Top Gun was one of the movies that I haven't seen. So I did go back and watch it before I watched this one.
Oh, you did?
And
Okay.
yeah, I watched that one, and then I went to go see this one. And
Now, okay,
I thought,
do you think you need to see the first one in order to enjoy the second one?
I don't think you need to, but I think it's better if you do, just because you can. There's a lot of things that you could catch. Like I think they have a lot of callbacks from the first movie that you'll miss if you've never seen it. So I think it's worth seeing it, but you don't really have to though.
This adds another layer. Well, actually, yeah. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it, so it was all brand new to me when Tom took me to the movies to see that movie. I was like, okay,
Maybe put the mic closer.
all right.
Can you hear yourself in the headphones?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So you haven't seen like at all the original one?
No, I haven't seen it, and we said we were gonna watch it, and live, so we haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, it seems that watching the second movie, I don't really need to see the first one. I get that the kid, is the son of the best friend that died in the first movie. And I think that's pretty much probably what you need to know to kind of feel that relationship, right? Because you feel that tension between...
Of Goose, yeah. Anybody who's not seen the movie, yeah. Basically, there's a character in the first film that dies, but they obviously can't carry him over into the second film, but they have his son who appears, and yeah, I think that was pretty well explained, right?
Yeah, I think
you didn't need to think. Now, okay, so overall, what do you guys think?
I think it was really good. To me, it's kind of hard to say. Like, I liked it better than the first one, but I kind of saw the first one out of its like time. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
but to me, it was a little bit more enjoyable to me. It's almost like they did a lot of the same stuff that they did in the first movie, but improved on it, and they didn't do it in a way where it was like way too obvious that they took a lot of stuff from the first script.
I mean, yeah, I would say the formula is the same, right, as the first movie.
Yeah, that's
that's what I mean. Like literally, they have that what was it, the beach volleyball scene, right, in the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
And this
it's
one,
one of the ones I noticed.
Yeah, and this one they have the soccer, right? They're playing, shirtless. So like. Those things worked, so they just were like, well, why change it, right? Let's kind of just update it, and yeah.
Well, they did it in a good way. Like they did it in a way where it wasn't so obvious that they were kind of calling back a lot of stuff from the first one. Even that bar scene, if you remember in the first Top Gun, Tom Cruise was hitting on that female in the bar, and then it turns out that she's the teacher. And they did something similar in this one where these guys make a fool of themselves in front of Tom Cruise, and it turns out he's the teacher. They did the exact same kind of callback.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of things. But I think, because to be honest, I actually forgot about that, the fact that, that bar scene in the first one. And now that you're telling me, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, see, even though I didn't remember it, I still enjoyed it. It was I kind of knew. I mean, I'm pretty sure you also, Krisia, you knew that it was coming, right? Like, I think you even said it in the cinema when we watched it, that like, oh my God, they're gonna just realize that he's the teacher, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, it was like a clear setup, but again, it wasn't too cheesy. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
It worked. I thought it worked like perfect. Like it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was
and
really
if you
good.
saw the first one, it was kind of like an Easter egg that you know exactly what they were going for with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. I like action-packed movies, I guess.
You do?
And yeah, I do.
Maybe you're watching The Office now all the time. It's like no action in that.
No, there is no action, but it's
like the most boring show.
It's something that once I started, I have to finish it. I just have to, I
I'm
have to
way.
pull through the whole, the whole show.
I'll sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah. I'm the same way. That's why when shows kind of take that dip where they go bad,
yeah,
it kind of sucks because I still want to finish it and
yeah,
see where they end
exactly.
up.
I mean, just
But that one actually got better. You see.
The Office, it was very hard to watch the first season. It was so hard. I was gonna quit. And then all of a sudden, I realized that it was the second season, and the image looked so much better. Whatever they did with the cameras or the lighting or whatever, it worked. And then the jokes
They
were
improved on it,
better,
yeah.
and the characters had a little bit more life. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And when I realized I was like halfway season number 2, and then I was like, okay,
So
I can
yeah,
watch
I would actually
But-
say the same thing about Maverick now, Top Gun. That they basically, like you said, like the old movie, the first one, if you watch it now, I guess for the times it was like the latest tech, the look of those films, the effects, all that stuff. But now it seems dated. But so they took this one and they just updated it. Like the cinematography is freaking amazing in this film.
it's really cool.
So I've coming from a point of view of a cinematographer who I was like paying attention, like some of it I was just like, how did they do this? Because like I have a background in special effects, and I knew that like some of the stuff with the reflections like in the windows and you see when they're flying and all that stuff. I mean, it's just insane. And then of course I come to find out that they actually filmed it all for real, which for those of you guys who don't know, because I didn't know this, they literally had the actors, they had to, not only did the actors have to remember their lines, they had to knew what little shots they were going up into the air to get. But because it was so expensive to rent these planes, they basically went up into the air for about 2 hours at a time, and they had to just like kind of bang out through a bunch of these scenes. And so the actors at that point lost all communications with the producer, with the director. So the director or the producers were just like, drinking coffee or whatever, on the ground, and just kind of hoping they're getting the stuff that they want after giving the actors the direction. And not only that, but then on top of that, the cinematographer had to prepare these cameras, and they did like a really cool setup with multiple cameras in the cockpit. And then basically what happened is the actors had to actually manually themselves enable all the cameras, turn them on, and hope they don't screw anything up. And I actually heard that the actor who played Goose's son, he said in one of the interviews, he said that one time he flew, and then he pressed like the wrong thing, and he literally deleted some of the footage that was on the camera. So when they landed, and that cost like thousands of dollars for like every minute to rent those. That's when he was like, "Oh crap, okay." So they had, So like that's a lot of responsibility. Not only that, but then they're doing these crazy stunts. So while you're doing all of that, you got to try to remember to act and take care of all the technical things, and remember all your lines and all that. It's just it was so from a lot of point of views, I would say it's a great achievement that they did in this film, and I also enjoyed it, and I would say, if anybody's interested to see it, go see it while it's still in cinema.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I like the action, but as a girl, I also like the romantic aspect. There's a little bit.
There was romantic.
There was romance there that you're like just hoping that they get together with the bar girl. Yeah, and you see like, oh my God, they split up a little bit, and then it's like they come back, and so. They have to throw some romance in there for the girls, because we go because our guys wanna watch it. Not a movie I would have picked to go to the cinema.
You like Tom Cruise movies in general?
Oh, I love Tom Cruise. Yeah,
for his age, still he does amazing things.
He does.
He still looks good. If I was a girl, I'd do him. Yeah, he's the thing. He's got, because it's not about just the looks. He's got something, like he's got this charisma. I don't know. Yeah. He's got something.
Yeah, he's very like he's one of those people that when he walks into a room, you can tell he probably takes command of the whole room.
Yeah,
it's like a confidence thing.
It's the way he carries himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Very.
Which is surprising because he's like a very like a short guy. So
that's what I heard.
Him to have that such a big personality. Like he seems like he's like 8 feet tall, but he's actually like a very short guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stuff he does in his movies is incredible, because he's always doing like I watched a video where it was like the top stunts that he's done in his movies, and I would not do any one of them.
I know. I mean, I never knew that until I watched, was it Mission Impossible 2, I think, where there's like opening scene where he's like rock climbing in Utah somewhere, and he starts jumping between the cliffs. And I was like, okay, that's just like far-fetched. Nobody could do that. And then come to find out, he actually did it for real. He had safety lines, but still, I mean, like any normal human being would just freeze up, you know.
Or at least get a stunt double, you know.
Or that,
exactly.
Yeah, there was that, and I think the craziest one I saw was a different in Mission Impossible when he was hanging off the side of the plane. When
that's
that was nuts.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I heard that like
that's a good one too.
Yeah, and I heard that one, the insurance company actually like basically walked away, said we're not gonna insure this because when they were calculating how many like G's that was gonna be pulling, they said that it most likely will, best case scenario, dislocate his fingers because he was holding on with his fingertips, or it will just rip off his arms. And I was like, holy crap! But he did it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, him and Jackie Chan, I think they have a very hard time getting insurance for movies. That's what I was. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So I like that. I also liked. You know what I actually liked? Now that I think about it, about the film. You know, it was, like I said, predictable story. If you watch the first one, a lot of things. You know, they repeated the formula, all that stuff. But it was enjoyable, great action, all that stuff. But I really actually liked that in this era of like, you know, well, I guess the whole era of wokeness and craziness and all that stuff, but also like a lot of this like anti-Western kind of, or especially anti-Americanism, where a lot of filmmakers and studios are afraid to like almost, you know, to show anything semi, you know, or, you know, remotely patriotic. Yeah. This film was very patriotic. I mean, at the end of the day, they're doing, you know, a film about the Navy. Pilots, and this is an actual real school, right? Top Gun, that where Navy pilots train, and so they kind of play homage to it, and just like they did in the first movie. And like I love those scenes that they had where they have these giant like shots of the American flag while Tom Cruise is talking, you know, introducing himself. Like it just it basically, or even there was that whole controversy which I, you know, like found out literally, I think 1 or 2 days before I was going to go see the movie, that in the original movie, Tom Cruise, or Maverick, on the back of his jacket, he has a flag of Taiwan, right? And now, basically, China, you know, China doesn't agree that Taiwan is a country. It believes that it's part of China, that whatever. Anyways, all that political BS. So they basically said, nope, you're going to, you know, you have to remove that flag from the thing and cut out any shots basically where you see the Taiwanese flag, or otherwise the movie's not getting distributed or shown in China, which is a huge market, right? I mean, like movies, when they can't be shown in China, they're losing out a lot of money. But the filmmakers and the producers, I mean, I got to give them props. Whether I don't know why they did it, but I'm glad that they did, that they didn't cave in and they were just like, well, no, the original movie, he has a flag of Taiwan on the back. Like, what's the big deal? Whatever.
It's supposed to be the same jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so.
And they didn't cave in. They didn't cut it out of the movie or out of the trailer. They were just like, and China basically said, the Chinese government said, okay, we're not going to show you the movie in China. And the producer said, okay. And I guess it's good because it's, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a movie for people who, like I said, like, I mean, it's about the U.S. Navy. So you have to kind of
love America.
Exactly. I mean, you know.
And respect.
Exactly. You know? Yeah. I would say as long as you respect and things. So I guess if people, and again, I know, because I know people, you know, that I do business with in China. Most of them are, you know, the same as people here, Canada, Europe. It's just their damn government is just being like trying to play politics with the media and stuff. So I'm really, really happy actually that the movie didn't cave in, that it was patriotic like the original one, and because of that, I think more enjoyable. I guess the only thing, if I had to nitpick for me, was that they never mention who the enemy is in this film. Which is kind of obvious that it's basically Iran, because when you're looking at the landscape and sort of the airplanes.
Was it obvious? You know, now you mention it, they really don't make it. At least to me, it wasn't that obvious who they were.
Yeah, it wasn't obvious to me, because even at the end, you also question like,
I was thinking, is it China? But then I was like, no, they would not do China, but Iran. Yeah, and I was like, I think it's Iran.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was then thinking too, like, But do you really care? Like the movie's not about the enemy.
Right?
Right?
Personally, I didn't. But now you mention it, it would have been good to know. Like, it is a detail that was missing. I just didn't notice it.
Because it's true, and usually in these type of movies, you always know who the enemy is.
Yeah,
right?
like the villain kind of. Yeah. Which this movie, I guess, there was the internal struggle between the people in the departments and things. But the enemy wasn't really like this big bad, whatever villain. But
that's true. I think there was so much story outside of that like it almost didn't even matter. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, it was more about like what's happening there within, what do you call it? Within, the school, and then the people in the Navy, and the fact that they don't want to, like the only reason why Maverick got another shot is because his friend Iceman returns. Which that was another thing. Like, so what do you guys think about that? Well, you haven't seen the first one, so
I haven't, but
Val Kilmer, made an appearance. He literally came back from
I didn't even know
from the dead almost.
I didn't know that Val Kilmer was sick
in
the first place until you told me when we were watching the movie.
Like in real life, he's sick?
Yeah, in real life.
So that's why in the film he couldn't. He actually can't speak.
He can't talk
because he has cancer, throat cancer, and they had like
he had to remove. Yeah, he had surgery. And
that makes so much sense now.
So when you were telling me that we were thinking, right, is he gonna talk? Because you see he's like communicating through a computer, and and then he talks, and we're like, oh, I was totally sold. I was like,
that
oh
him,
my God, what did they do?
So do you know how they did it, Daniel?
No.
You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea about any of this. This is all news to me.
Yeah.
Well, you know how they usually put something here and they talk, but they talk like a robot.
Yeah.
But this time it sounded, really, it sounded like a little bit robotic, but it was so much better.
So basically what they did is a company that does basically, I believe they worked, with Google at one point, like doing their speech recognition, all that stuff. Anyways, they created like this AI that literally listened to all the recordings, of Val Kilmer when he was younger, and the AI learned to basically duplicate his voice, which is kind of scary if you think about it. But then
I couldn't even tell. It sounded like
his voice. And so then they had those few lines written for him, and the AI actually is the one that created the audio, and then Val Kilmer just had to lip sync it to him. Yeah.
Wow.
That was crazy.
And he was supposedly
it was so good.
Yeah, he didn't want to come back to the film, but it was like Tom Cruise, and again, you gotta give props to Tom Cruise that he came and he
got the people together.
Yeah, he got them together, and he really basically because Val Kilmer, he doesn't look the same. He's not for years he's been retired, and the fact that he convinced him to come back, and I think it was a perfect role they wrote for him, right?
It was. Well, now that I know. Because that's what I was actually going to say. It was like, I thought it was weird that he didn't really have any lines and they made that he couldn't speak. But now you're telling me that this was a real life situation. It all makes sense. So, wow, that's pretty crazy.
And then, they just killed him off just in case there's another movie.
Just in case.
He doesn't need to come back unless it's a memory.
Exactly. No, but that makes sense. Yeah, because they may make another one. How many years did they have in between these? 33?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, 34 or 30. something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, there's no way. When was this movie done?
The first one
was 86, I think. 1986.
Let me see.
It was one of Tom Cruise's first real major roles.
86.
Then,
86. I was a child.
Here, let me play
oh my goodness.
I was 1 year old when that movie came
out. Oh man, I was
to
4.
Date myself.
4.5.
Yeah, that's the original. Even the beginning, with the music, and then I don't know, it was things.
It was a really good movie.
So I guess everybody.
Good. I enjoyed it, the first one.
So thumbs up for everybody, right?
They said they used 3 cameras originally, 3 what are they called? IMAX cameras in the first one per plane, and in this new one they use 6. So that's why they have so many more angles.
Oh, okay.
No, I was wondering, which Tom told me, but I'm still wondering how did they? Because clearly the actors were not flying the plane, right?
Well, Tom Cruise has supposedly flew because he's a crazy pilot himself.
Tom Cruise, he knows how to do that. But
and he flew a helicopter in one of the Mission Impossible films. And
so Tom was saying that there's
behind the scenes. I saw some of the actors did either they flew or they got flight training. I think it was.
They got
so you think
training.
they did it themselves?
No. So the other actors I know, and even Tom Cruise, for most of the shots, they had an actual Navy pilot in the front flying, and the actors were in the back just to, kind of pretending they're flying. I mean, they were up in the air, but they weren't controlling the plane.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, it's like how close does the pilot have to be to the front? Because
No, it's like a double cockpit.
I know, but there's like the girl, right? She always has somebody behind her. So how do they do those scenes where she has somebody always in the back?
Yes.
So maybe the other pilots don't have like the double cabin, but so I'm wondering about the girl, in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But, maybe we'll find out later.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Any negative things that you guys saw?
Honestly, not really. I didn't really have any... I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything negative to say about the movie. I thought it was really good. I didn't really have any problems with it. I was looking for something to nitpick, but I didn't really have anything. The only thing I had was the Val Kilmer thing, but you kind of already explained that, so that kind of killed that.
Oh, so that was at first you thought it was a little because you didn't know. You thought it was a little.
It was a weird thing to do to me. I was just like, they're not really. Because at first he was only communicating through text messages, and then when they met, they were only he was typing. I'm like, what's up with this? Was this like a last minute thing where he couldn't memorize his lines or something? Like I couldn't figure it out, but now you're saying that, that kind of took care of that as to why they did it that way. So that was my only real thing in the movie to me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, I like the whole movie, but in regards to the story, I wonder why didn't they give Maverick, like, I don't know how to say it, like a life. He never had kids. He never got married. I was wondering, like, what did he do all this time?
He's a pilot. That's all he's got in his mind.
But
he's married to the job.
Yeah. I guess. No, I wish they give him a little bit of a backstory
he's kind of a player,
what
with the girls, but he never takes it seriously, and then he's just.
And now when he's like 50 years old, now he's gonna take a girl serious.
I guess. I don't know. Those are.
Well, I think part of it was
those are those life questions we all have.
Yeah. As a girl, I wonder.
Was to show that his life was like just really all about flying, because I think they had that whole thing with the guy telling him, that they're coming out with drones, like you're kind of going to be obsolete soon, and his whole thing was, I'm going to fly until I can't fly anymore. So I think he was kind of, more about his job. I don't think he cared about anything else.
Yeah, which is and they carry that to the second film. So. All right. What other movies have you seen, Daniel?
I've seen quite a few recently. Like the most recent one I saw was probably Spider-Man. I saw that pretty recently. The newest Spider-Man movie.
Oh,
I'm not
really?
sure if you.
The one with the 3 Spider-Mans? No? Which one?
This was Spider-Man. What was it called? No Way Home. This was the newest one. They had essentially like the big thing was they brought back all 3 Spider-Men.
Did they really? I haven't watched it, but I really want to know. Did they really?
They did, yeah. They had Tobey Maguire in it and Andrew Garfield.
Oh, so they
Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man. Like,
that was the time we
the
watched
early 2000s,
Yeah.
So they actually brought in the original actors?
Nice.
They did, yeah. It was really good. It was similar to Top Gun, where if you were somebody who grew up watching the Spider-Man movies, then
which
there was
I'm
a
not
lot
the
of
person.
callbacks
no,
that you could see. But again, you didn't really have to go back and watch them if you didn't.
Tom is not into those character movies.
Oh, no. Like superheroes, yeah.
The superheroes, Lord of the Rings, none of those fantasy kind of superhero things, where I love them all.
I know. Okay. I mean, I think our like first date sort of thing.
We went to see Spider-Man.
Yeah, and it was your idea. I was just hey, I'm going out with this chick. All right. Any movie you pick.
Tom fell asleep. By the way, you did.
Oh no! Which Spider-Man was it you?
That was it with Tobey Maguire.
With Andrew Garfield.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Well, which one was it? Was it the second one? Because then that's kind of fair.
I don't know. I think this was 2012. So probably the first one. I don't remember.
But yeah,
Tom, little secret here. Tom is not into those movies.
Oh no! What is it about those movies you don't like?
I don't know why. I love them all. Maybe it's the fantasy, I don't know.
Yeah, to me, I love films that are set in reality. Like I love historical films, you know what I mean? But again, they're set in reality, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not big on like fantasy. I don't know.
But
fake news.
Now we gotta watch. Well, Tommy has to watch them now because of the kids.
Oh yeah. So another movie I want to talk about is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Have you seen it or have you heard about it?
I have seen the first one. I liked it. I thought it was way better than I expected. I haven't seen the second one yet. I've only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still have to catch that one.
Oh, so
how was it? You guys both saw the second one?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We went to the cinema again because of the kids. Like I never watched the first one. Well, I watched sort of half of the first one after we watched the second one.
Yeah, he hasn't finished it.
Yeah, but no, I gotta say that like I was surprised. Like again, I've never played Sonic the Hedgehog. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about the game, but the film was entertaining to me.
I don't know. Tom didn't have like Super Nintendo or Sega.
I had Amiga, right? It was better. You could program. That's how I learned how to do 3D graphics.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know what
that is.
Computer.
It wasn't a console.
But you know it's Super Nintendo and Sega,
Yeah, I never had that in Poland, but
so
and it's good. It's good. I didn't spend my time,
I remember. I would stay up late with my sisters playing Super Nintendo.
Oh, same. So, me too. Super Nintendo and Sega. All night.
Yeah. Yep. And so, my kids, they would say, "Mama, you know Sonic?" I said, "Yeah, of course I know Sonic. I used to play the game. Mama, I want to please buy me so I can play the game too."
So what did you guys think of the movie? It was good? It was better than the first one?
Did you see the first one, baby? Before?
Yeah, I saw the first one with the kids too, and and then at the end of
but not in the cinema, right?
No, in the house. Okay. And then at the end of the first one, they hint that there's gonna be number 2, and then for a whole year and a half, I had to hear my kids ask me all the time about it. But no, I like them both. They.
I liked. At first I didn't even spot it until when we were in the cinema. By the way, Krisia loves to talk in the cinema. She's like one of those annoying people, I guess. But this time we went, there was like I don't think there was anybody in the cinema. It was so empty.
With the kids, or when we went with Maverick, there was nobody. It was just us. And then,
okay. No. So for this one, there were a few people. They were still pretty empty.
Yeah. That's the best when you get an empty theater.
Yeah, it's like your private screening room.
Yeah, exactly.
But I remember. So we were watching this in the cinema, and then you were the one who pointed out, "Oh, that's all the like music from the 80s, I guess, whatever the time when the game came out, right?"
Yeah.
So like they paid homage to the times, and I don't know. Cool. I liked that. Like it made, even though again I'm not a big player or whatever. I didn't play Sega. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. So
it was fun, and I liked the animation, and it's a kids movie, but I think it's good for adults too, right?
It had it definitely had adult humor about the whole marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it had adult humor, and then that's kind of what I noticed in the first one. Then because then I was curious, like, okay, let me think. I still haven't finished the first one, but when I watched it afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, there's like good humor and all that stuff, and for kids and for adults, and
it's gotta have good humor. Jim Carrey's in it.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey. Although I'll tell you, like me, I don't know why, but like I used to love Jim Carrey, and then for I don't know, maybe like the last 10 years, I just kind of was watching less and less stuff with him.
So he hasn't done much either.
Maybe that's
he
why.
Hasn't done much.
And
he
I just
said that he's going to retire after this movie. Apparently.
Oh, that's what he said.
That's what he said.
After this, but there's going to be a third one,
really?
at the end of this one, nobody knows what happened to him. So we'll see. We'll see what they come up with for the third one.
So like to me, actually knowing that he was going to be in the movie, I was like a little bit like came with like a negative attitude because I don't know. I just thought, Jim Carrey again. Like I don't know. I just didn't.
But he was good.
I wasn't looking forward to. But when I actually saw him play this ridiculous character,
it's perfect
with
for
that
him.
giant mustache.
But it's perfect for him because he's very animated, like very. His face is the way he moves.
But I actually got to say that he didn't do the typical Jim Carrey things that he was doing like early in his career. Mm-hmm. He actually I guess stuck close to the character, I guess, of this Eggman. but the lines, like, they were basically these lines that were like dirty lines, but you know what I mean, but not really dirty. It was just like a little bit off in where you think he said like a bad word, and the kids enjoyed it like because of that. He was
what was that thing that the kids were? It was like mother fish.
Something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like instead of saying mother, you know. There was something else he said that, but he just said it so well that at first I thought, oh my god, did he just say that? And then I'm like, oh wait a minute, no, he said that.
Oh, like one of those, like he tried to like, it sounded like he cussed almost.
Yeah, exactly.
But he actually didn't. So no, the movie is entertaining and good action. The animation is very well done.
Yeah.
Like to me, it was actually so like I said, I went into the cinema thinking, oh my god, a kids movie, whatever. But you know, let's go with the kids, let them enjoy it, and I actually enjoyed it. I think.
Well, we wanted to
maybe even more than the kids
to the cinema, so they experience watching movies at the cinema. Yeah. You know, that's important to us. But what I liked about this movie is that they're slowly introducing new characters from the game and then from the animated series, and
right.
you know, they're slowly introducing the characters, and I like that. So on the next one, we're gonna find Sonic's girlfriend, Amy Rose.
Oh, you know that?
Oh, so she's gonna be okay. That's good to know because I was excited about Knuckles. So
yeah, Knuckles and Tails are in the second one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then at the end of this movie, they hint to a third movie, and then they show Amy Rose at the end, the girlfriend.
Okay. That's good to know. My inner video game nerd is excited for the third one now. Even though I haven't seen the second one yet, I'm already excited for the third.
No, it's really
good.
good.
It got good reviews, so it must have been really good.
And
did they get good reviews?
They gave Knuckles an accent, like he's from.
Did they?
They did. So he's like.
I think he's played by Idris Elba.
Yeah, but it sounds. It's an actor.
What was he?
I don't know. It's a famous, good-looking black actor.
Yeah, he was in. He was the guy that there was a rumor going around that he was going to play 007.
He'd probably be good at it.
On IMDb,
just the face.
Yeah, if you look him up, he's been in a bunch of things. The fact that I can't name something he's been in right now is pretty crazy. But he's pretty popular right now. He's an English actor. I think he was in. Was he in? No, he wasn't in that. Yeah, but I like him up. He's been in a bunch of movies. I'm sure you've seen.
I also like the thing James Marsden. I always forget his name, but he played the friend, I guess, the good guy. And he's always
the dad.
Yeah, he always plays like these small roles. Like in The Notebook, he played a really cool character, but a very small role. He's been in so many movies throughout the years, and I always forget. I remember his face, but not his name.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Exactly. He's that guy.
Well, he's busy. That's
always
what's
the
important.
Sidekick.
But he always has parts in good movies.
Yeah. And he did a really good job with this one. Like, he was really cool, likable. I don't know. So, which guy is this?
He was in the first one, too.
This one?
He was where?
Oh, I do know him. How do you pronounce his name? I thought it was
Idris Elba.
I thought it was Idra or something.
No.
I always
read it in
I've seen
Spanish.
him in movies. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He was the voice of Knuckles apparently.
Oh, he was. Yeah, and
so
he gave him a little bit of an accent.
Oh, because he's from the UK.
But not a UK accent. I don't even know.
Oh, he put a different accent on it.
Yes.
Probably like an island accent, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Well, where is he from? Like, is he from the UK or somewhere else? Ghana. Oh, Evis.
Oh, he's from Ghana, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, his mother is from Ghana.
Oh, okay. So he is British, but
he was born in London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they gave him a little.
Yeah, I don't. But you know what? That's another thing I enjoyed is that I had no idea who did the voices. I couldn't care. Like, it just was. Yeah, it was just well done.
Well, if you don't know that it's him because he gave the character a different accent, a different tone of voice. That is just.
Wait a minute. Tails is played by a woman. The voice. Oh, that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Like Bart Simpson.
Because he's more of a kid.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so it would
His
make
voice
sense.
is more
Again, she did a good job. I don't.
like a child, so.
Yeah, I really gotta see that movie.
No, yeah, it is fun. I don't know if it's a movie that you gotta watch in the cinema, but it's it was entertaining, even for somebody who's never played the games or couldn't care less about Sonic. Well, once I saw the movie, I was like, oh, and like I said, it made me curious to watch the first one then. So.
And Sonic helped us with the kids at the baseball game, where the kids would be like, run, run, run. And then at the last game, because it was the last game, he was happy that it was the last game. He's like, Mama, did you see me run? I ran so fast like Sonic.
Yeah. Because the whole season while they were playing baseball, we would yell at our youngest. Like, he would hit the ball really well, and then he just, like, walks to the first base. We're like, run!
He was, like, jogging, to the first base.
Come on, Adam. And he's just, like, taking his time, waving to the people.
Oh, yeah. To his fans. And he would stop and smile, and we're like, run!
Yeah.
That's kids. He's probably in his own world.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the important part.
No.
Just the having fun thing.
No, but he ran like Sonic, so,
motivated him.
Yeah, exactly. It was motivation.
Oh, man, that's yeah. All right. Any other films?
The only other one I watched recently was a film called X, and it's a horror film.
Oh, I don't watch horror films. They're too scary.
That's the whole point.
I know.
Exactly. That's the fun part. It's like
maybe I should start.
You gotta get scared a bit.
Maybe I should start now that I have somebody that sleeps next to me.
Exactly.
Although I also don't enjoy horror.
Yeah, he doesn't like it either.
Oh no, I'm surprised because I know you were working on that shark film, so those are like kind of close to like horror films, sort of.
No, I don't watch them because I also don't like it. Sometimes I'll wake up with some weird dreams or something. So.
Oh, okay. So it's not like the gore; it's more just like the mental part of it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. No, I watched a movie. It was called X. It was pretty good. It was like it was pretty typical. It got really good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, so I figured I'd check it out. But I enjoyed it. It was more or less just about this like old couple. There was a set of young adults that wanted to make a porno film, and they rented out this old couple's barn, and the old couple ends up being crazy.
Okay.
And, typical horror movie stuff, like a slasher film. So they're basically trying to just get away from this old couple, and these old couple are just killing them. But it was pretty good. It's decent if you're into horror films.
Who's in it?
The only actor I recognize, which I didn't even know he was an actor, is a rap artist named Kid Cudi. He was in it, but he's the only one I recognized. Everybody else is pretty new to me.
That's the thing. I mean, I'll tell you that as a filmmaker too, I know some of the best way to break into the industry is to do, sort of what they call a cult film, right? So most of them are going to be, like zombie films, shark films, like those are like have cult followings, right? And so like the Alone in the Cabin in the Woods kind of thing, like that setup. And if you can just put a slightly new twist on it, but then you also stay true to a lot of these old, like basically, I guess, moments that these movies have, then that's how, it's I'm not going to say easy, but it's one of the better ways to kind of get your foot in the door, meaning get recognition, build following, right? And if you have that, then you got, the agents calling you and the studios and all that stuff wanting to make a film with you. So there's a lot of these films, like these slasher films, zombie films, all that stuff that are basically with nobodies, right? Like brand new films with brand new actors that you've never heard of. And all the, they get that cult following, then that's it. So suddenly you become those recognizable names, basically. Like I don't know if you know, like the was it Army of the Dead or something like that with.
I know of that movie. That's an older movie.
Yeah, very old movie. Or what's the other ones? Like Bruce Campbell. He's like this B movie actor. And
maybe if I've seen his face, but
yeah, you probably.
I don't remember him.
Let's look it up.
So he was in. What, like old school horror films?
That's him. See here. So Bruce Campbell, is basically. This one is like.
What was he in before? I don't think I recognize the face.
Like this is that all original sort of this horror film. He played this guy who goes back.
Oh my God, so much younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I recognize him.
Oh.
What's his like most famous?
Let's see.
Like roll.
Let's watch some clips.
Yeah. All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
This is a good movie. This is like the type of horror I can watch.
This is my boomstick.
Look at the size of that thing. Must be its own zip code. Wow. Been a while. And you look great.
You too, Larry. Very youthful. Still drinking the blood of children?
Let me ask you something. Ever see Rawhide? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
been in a lot of movies, but he's basically what's known as a B actor, right? So he's just never played like this leading man in like a really big production, only in smaller productions. And if he's in a bigger film, he always has like a smaller part. But he's got a cult following. Like there's like Bruce Campbell, fan clubs and websites that follow his life, like all the. And he's a hilarious guy. Like when I've seen him, and he goes to all these like. Comic-Con, all these events, so people love him.
Right.
And especially for like when he was younger, he played in all these cheap sort of horror films. And he's just a funny, like he doesn't take himself too seriously, and So
Not too sure if I'm 100% familiar with him.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell is I enjoy his humor. Let's just put it that way. And he knows, I guess, he's not the best actor, but he's having fun with it, and he seems like
he makes like humorous horror films.
Yeah, yeah. Like like I say, he even when I don't even think he could ever play in like a serious film, whether it's a horror or a drama, or whatever, because he just doesn't take he doesn't take himself seriously. So like, I don't know how much of it is him like ad-libbing and all that stuff, or how much is it just him like actually reading the lines from the script. But seeing him in interviews, seeing him like and a few friends of mine actually that met him at some of these like public like Comic-Con and stuff events. They say like he's very cool, very approachable. You come up to him like he loves movies. He's one of those kind of types of actors, and he kind of, like I said, he's got his career, started because of those kind of cheap, what I call genre flicks, right? Yeah,
I think I know what you mean. Like when you're saying that, you mean like movies like A House of a Thousand Corpses and like. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, those movies that like really hardcore fans are gonna know of that specific genre.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they never go mainstream, but they have like a cult following, right? These films. Yeah, and people will for years, right? Like they collect, like there's like those collectibles, like if you can get the original poster, or you can, things like that. So there's a lot of these movies, and that's one good way, or like I said, one of the better ways to break into the industry, right? There's been a lot of good actors that kind of broke into the industry that way. So. Like, for example, Jon Favreau, which, now, he's been an actor in a lot of movies, but now he's directed, like, Iron Man, The Jungle Books, like, all those films, right? So Jon Favreau started kind of in a cult film, which was Swingers, right? He wrote, directed, and he acted in it. And together with, there was a whole bunch of, like, famous, of people who became famous because of Swingers. Let me see, actually, if I can find that. And it's a fun film. It's shot on 16mm, all that stuff, but it's just entertaining. Vince Vaughn, so Vince Vaughn.
Okay, yeah.
Again, Jon Favreau, Vince Vaughn, they were all nobodies, and they became somebodies and started their careers all because of that movie, Swingers. It was a movie that was self-financed. They barely finished it, right? So.
I don't think I know that one.
You've never seen Swingers? If you haven't, actually, and it's just watch it. Even. Like I said, just to see those actors when they were starting out. So watch this.
I want you to be the guy in the PG-13
Look how they changed.
movie. Everyone's really hoping that's
Oh my God, so young.
I want you to be like the guy in the rated R movie. You're a bad man. You're a bad man. You're a bad man.
In the city of Los Angeles, where everyone is a player.
What do you guys do?
Oh, I'm a producer.
Mike can't even get a seat on the bench.
Where do I know you from?
You ever been to the Ha-Ha Hole?
That actress also did.
Oh, you're a comedian.
It's it's a dream. It's a lot of hard work and travel.
I know where it is. Starbucks. He came in here and asked me for an application.
But now his closest friends are getting him back into the swing of things.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
What's her name?
We should go to Vegas.
A $100 minimum bet table. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at one of our lower stakes tables.
Hey, how you doing this evening?
What do you drive?
Cavalier.
It's a nice touch.
So how long do I wait to call?
2 days is like industry standard.
Well, how long are you guys going to wait to call your babies? 6 days.
Miramax presents the film that had an entire country on its feet.
You know what, big boy? You're grown up!
Swingers.
Hi, this is Nikki. Leave a message.
Hi, Nikki, this is Mike again. I just called because it sounded like your machine might have cut me off when I...
Roger Ebert calls it sweet, funny,
Roger
observant.
Ebert, back in the day.
Mikey wins!
A movie that defined a generation.
Hi, this is Nikki. Leave a message.
I didn't think I was weird or desperate. Hello?
Mike, don't ever call me again.
Swingers.
Wow!
Get a nightlife.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah. If you have a chance, watch it. I think it's an entertaining film, but what's cool is you'll see a lot of faces.
Jon Favreau was tired of going to.
A lot of faces you'll see, and you'll be like, "Holy crap! Those! Oh my god! I know that actor. You know, like they're big now and stuff." And they were like, you know, first of all, they're much younger, and then they play in this cheap movie, but it's still an entertaining movie. Like even though it's not doesn't have best cinematography or sound or music, all that stuff, it's an entertaining film. So.
All right, we gotta watch it.
Check that out.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that's it, right, for this one.
Yeah, I think that's the only other movie I saw was that horror movie, Spider-Man, and Mission Impossible. What about yourself? Was that it for your?
Like recently, yeah, just that Hedgehog and.
Well, I watched something. I don't even know if it's Prime Video or Netflix.
Okay.
Marry Me with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson.
Is that like a new one that just came out?
Yeah, it's a new one. It's just on one of those platforms. I don't remember which one. And yeah, it was a good movie.
It's a film, not a show.
No,
Okay.
it's a film. And I don't know. I just, I love Jennifer Lopez, but I think she's getting too old for that type of movies. I don't know.
Oh, why? Well, she's playing like the foxy young lady kind of thing?
She's playing, the foxy, talented singer. She's a singer. She's herself, basically, but with a different name.
Mm-hmm.
And
what's the name again?
Marry Me.
Marry Me, okay.
And basically, she's engaged to marry this, exotic sensations Latin singer played by Maluma. I don't know if you guys would know him, but he's in very popular in the reggaeton world in South America or Latin America, I should say. And then she finds out that he cheated on her when in the middle of a concert.
Okay, let's see. I've never heard of this. Never seen this trailer.
I haven't either.
In 36 hours, superstar Kat Valdez and Grammy-winning Bashman will perform their new song, Marry Me, and exchange vows in front of a streaming audience of 20 million people.
See what you want.
I mean, she still looks good, but...
Yeah, I love Jennifer Lopez, and she looks good, and she's done these type of movies in the, 90s, 2000s, but...
Owen Wilson.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's true.
Owen Wilson came back for this. I know he hasn't
also
done
came back from the dead.
What's everybody looking at? Nothing. Give me your phone.
Oh, okay.
She was...
Looks like a big production.
She was supposed to marry this guy here in this concert, and...
20 million people are supposed to watch as we take our vows. They say if you want something different, you have to do something different.
Oh my god. Okay, Owen Wilson doesn't look that good there. I don't know, something like plastic surgery or
He's
something?
never looked good. That's his face.
Well, okay, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but he's a good actor. He's funny, but he's not good looking.
No, I know that nose and stuff, but there's something like plastic about his face there in that shot at least.
No, nothing. He's older.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah,
is that how we look when we get older?
Kat Valdez left the guy from the concert, then also married her Uber driver. It's an insane situation. I say we offer $5,000 and let it all blow over.
Or I could stay married to him. I started something last night, and if I
Okay.
don't finish it...
It's interesting. And now there's so many new films, TV shows coming out on, whether it's Netflix, Amazon Prime, all that stuff.
It's their own production, their own film. So
Yeah,
they don't
like
come out in the cinema
Disney
or
productions.
anything.
Exactly. And so, in a way, I kind of feel sad because, I miss those days when you just went to the cinema. You're on a Tuesday, I remember, when I couldn't afford to pay the full ticket price. You go for matinee.
Yeah.
And then you go and you see all the latest movies are right there. That's, you don't have to worry there was something on like, oh, I don't have a subscription to Disney or Paramount Plus or whatever, and they're like, oh man, I can't see that.
Yeah, back when I was growing up in Ecuador, the matinee was like until 11 a.m. So you really had to wake up early to watch, and then you get the 2 for 1. And my parents would take us to the movie at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good and bad thing, kind of like having the at the same time the streaming thing is good too, because like
more convenient.
People, exactly. Honestly, that I've been able to see some of the movies that they've brought out on streaming just because they brought out on streaming. I might not have seen them if they were in the theater.
Yeah, but there are movies that I get to see commercials, but they're on Apple TV, they're on HBO, and we don't have all those subscriptions, because if not, they might as well pay for cable to get everything.
Yeah. No, but I mean, even with cable, you don't get all those things, I guess. But yeah, if you wanted to do all those subscriptions, I mean, you'd be paying I think a few $100s.
Yeah.
It's
at this point, because they've raised all the prices for everything.
Yeah.
Because right now, like you said, I don't have cable either, so I'm just getting a bunch of streaming services. But they're starting to raise the prices for a lot of them. I think even Disney's about to go up again.
Oh, really?
I think they're going up again, pretty soon.
Inflation.
Yeah. So.
I know. We recently got Netflix
back.
Yeah. It was shut down, and I was suffering here because I had series that I was looking forward to watching. In June there was one that's coming out, and I'm like, no.
But it was because we were sharing with my brother, and my brother was just basically said, I'm not going to pay for Netflix anymore, and you guys watch it, and then I was like, well, I mean, I was also watching this one thing, but it's not like, oh my God, I gotta watch it.
For me, it was, oh my God, because I have a few of them that I'm waiting for the next season to come. But it was basically my mother-in-law and me that were watching, that were using the account, and the kids, the most. And so he decided to cancel the subscription, and I was like, okay.
And you were in pain.
I was like, oh man.
That's the thing with Netflix is there's never, at least for me, there's never really enough things on there that I'm watching.
Enough? There's so much.
I find that there's too much. Just the problem is finding those things.
Yeah, I guess.
Just maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not finding the right stuff.
Yeah,
I'll watch one or two things, but I'll have a hard time finding anything else after
that you like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just it gets lost. And that's what I'm saying. Now. There's in a way a lot bigger choice than we had back in the 90s, where you went to the cinema,
or you went to Blockbuster and rented
But back in the day,
that was fun.
It's to me, almost sometimes going through Netflix with somebody is more annoying. Blockbuster was fun. You'd go kind of separate. You go find movies that you've never seen before. But now with Netflix, it's just almost like a chore.
Your mom or dad would be like, you find one movie and that's it. And then you really had to pick, make your decision with your sisters. Make sure you all agreed on that one movie.
I miss all that.
Yeah.
There was you would go, you'd pick up the popcorn along the way there and all that stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. And it just felt just the fact that you had to go just find it physically, it felt almost more earned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's true. Just like when you wait, in line to go to the cinema and make the trip there and all that stuff. It just, and that's another thing I find. Like even when we went to see the movie the Hedgehog with our kids, when we go there, because it's such a trip and you gotta go, and get out of the car, go there, buy the tickets, buy the popcorn, all that stuff. You can find your seat, and then you're sitting down. The kids actually were sitting and watching the movie the whole time.
Yeah.
In the house, it's they get distracted by this, by that, and they're running. And me too. I find I just get distracted, and then that's why I have even the first Hedgehog. I want to see it. I do actually want to see it, but it's just I've gotten distracted.
Or you're like, oh, let me just put pause. I gotta do this and that, but at the movie theater, you just gotta sit there and watch. Because if you blink, you'll miss something. So.
And I remember there were some movies I remember Titanic. I
remember when I went to the movie
3 times in a row.
I went twice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the times I went, I was excited. I brought my mom, my grandma. I was like, "You guys gonna love it." The theater was packed, and that was actually fun. When you watch these movies, they're big hits like Titanic, where I remember the cinema was packed to the point where people were waiting in the on the sides. There was no seats, but people were, I guess, bought tickets for other films, and then they would just sneak in. And the movie starts, and the Titanic starts with that dramatic opening shot of the water and this very surreal kind of subtle music. and you can't hear anybody.
In the
Just
sunken
dead
ship.
silent. Yeah, and it's just dead silent, and you know, like a few hundred people now, everybody's just focused on that screen. It was just that feeling, and yeah, and it was just like I said, like a bigger, it was basically a bigger deal, right? Than
Right.
watching it now where it's too casual, I guess, almost too convenient. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that movie was a huge deal back then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like two. I think it took 2 VHS tapes. It wasn't just one. It was.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You had to flip the disc.
Well, yeah, I remember I got like this laser disc, something like that, and it was it was
Or 2 DVDs.
Yeah.
We have it actually. We have 2 DVDs.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we have like this, with all the behind the scenes too and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Oh right.
yeah. No, it was things. So I mean, now it's a bit different, the experience watching a lot of things. But like that's another thing I guess I wanted to go back to, is that with films back in the day, there wasn't as much of a choice. Like now, there's way more movies,
Right.
way more TV shows, way more thing, and it's a lot easier to watch them. Right, you can watch them from the comfort of your home or whatever, even when you're on the way to work.
Yeah, on your cell phone. Yeah,
everything.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's so much stuff, it's almost like I find on Netflix that it's like I said, it's like a chore having to find something. Like unless I know, like I watched or somebody recommended, if I don't know what I'm watching, like sometimes I don't even want to turn on Netflix because I'm like, or Disney Plus or whatever, because then I'm like, oh my god, like sometimes I don't know if you guys ever do that, where like you get something to eat and you're like, oh, let me just watch while I'm eating something.
Yeah,
Literally by the time I'm done eating, I still am like searching, like I can't find anything.
That's why what I try to do is in that situation, I always try to find something and then make food.
Yes, that's what I do. Yeah, and I just put pause and then go into the kitchen.
Smart thinking.
Get my food and then
Exactly. Then you got it going. Then you already know what you're gonna watch. As soon as you're making your food, you're like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch this as soon as I'm done.
But what if it takes you like an hour to find something?
That's the problem. Sometimes it does take me like an hour to find something, and then it's like I'm starving and I'm just trying to find something, and then I just settle on something. I'll just pick something. I'll pick whatever just so I can start eating, which sounds crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I always just go to coffee and crackers or something, and that's it.
Yeah, but yeah. So like I said, like there is I don't know, and me, like. Being a filmmaker, I got into making films because I loved the whole experience of cinema. There's also a little bit of this, like, which is, again, another props I got to give to Tom Cruise. Even though I don't agree with some of this crazy Scientology stuff he does or whatever. But, yeah, he did a lot of right things with a lot of his movies. And this one in particular, this Maverick one.
Right.
Because they I think they shot most of the film in, like, 2019. And the movie was going to come out in 2020. And Tom Cruise basically said, nope, we're going to hold it off. And they just took their time. They actually ended up like...
Because they wanted to show it in the cinema.
Yeah. And I think that was the right call. Like he basically said, no, it's not the same.
And isn't it the number one movie?
It is, yeah.
In the cinema?
Yeah,
not only that...
it actually might make $1 billion.
Wow. Yeah. I think it's broke like old world records so far, or domestic like
now,
here records.
I bet China wants to watch it now.
Oh, on their like the actual Chinese people, they're watching it. All the bootleg copies.
Oh, the bootlegs. Oh,
for sure. That's
it's just
true.
the government doesn't allow it.
Yeah, if it cracks $1 billion, that'd be something. I think they said those would be the first film to crack $1 billion.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's on the way. We'll see if it actually happens.
And that just shows you. Go make a real film like back in the day for the cinema. Don't play into politics. No, BS. Just
follow what you believe in.
Exactly.
Yeah, good for them. I didn't know that so many people were interested in Top Gun, but I'm glad to see it though.
Yeah, to be honest, I also didn't because like to me, I guess the first one I enjoyed it, but it wasn't a big deal. And I watched it on VHS when I was a kid, so again that wasn't the same experience. But when I heard about this one, I was like, it was sort of like. To be honest, it was actually kind of went because you suggested, oh, let's do maybe like a podcast talking about like reviewing some films. I'm like, okay, what's the new film? And I think we went on Friday. It was the opening night actually.
Was it?
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I think it was because they had a lot of times.
Yeah,
like 8:30, 8.
Yeah, like
9,
every half hour.
9:30. Yeah, it was like so many. I was like, okay.
And I went and I was pleasantly surprised, and it was that thing. So definitely a winner.
Too. very pleasantly surprised. I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now I heard a joke out of nowhere now on social media that on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, you either watch the Thanksgiving Macy's parade or you watch Top Gun. And that was the debate.
Oh, really?
And I was like, well, I lost. You see, I watched the parade.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever go to the actual parades when you lived in New York?
No, never. It was too cold. You have to stand there? Yeah. No, thank you. I'd watch it. No.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's a very patriotic movie.
Yeah, so that's probably why. Either Top Gun or the parade. So that was the debate between families. So in my house, we watched the parade.
All right. Anyways, I think we'll call it it for this episode.
All right.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fun. We gotta do it again very soon. Next week, actually.
All right. Just gotta think of a topic then.
Yeah, and let me know if I want to join.
Yeah.
According to the topic.
We have another co-host then.
That's good.
All right. So, anyways, good seeing you, talking to you, man, and yeah, good. I guess. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's podcast. And any other final words?
No, I had fun. Thank you for inviting me.
All right.
Anytime.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right. Later.
Ciao.